Perfect. Now, stream is up. That's good. This is good. People are pinging. Excellent. All right, so when last we left off, we had so very abruptly been ripped through the fabric of space-time by a divine beast, an entity, and you all basically remember each other from your events prior in Leyland, saving them from the Cult of Talos, down along the Sword Coast, in that one particular cave which we had gone into, and defeated their evil denizens attempting to summon Talos into this particular region to wrest control from the forces of good, as I will label them. So you successfully routed them. You went back to Leyland. You had some fun. Then you went up to Neverwinter to get paid. And that's effectively where you find yourselves waking back up again. You, as a player, don't really notice anything is different about yourself, even if something is drastically different than it was last week. Because as far as you can tell, you just woke up after coming back to Neverwinter, getting paid out for your do-goodiness down in Leyland. And maybe it's been a fortnight or so since that happened, because you've been kind of living it up on Neverwinter, just chilling. But yeah, that's effectively where we're starting from. So yes, everyone finds themselves there. Exactly, just like it's always been. Even that little mole in that place that we don't talk about. Yes. You happen to be in a very... Right. You happen to be in a very, very not luxurious inn on the west side docks of Neverwinter for probably the cheapest fare that the city can offer, with some stale, aled flavoring in your mouth and a stiff back from sleeping the night before. Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. You're wearing whatever you were wearing. I would anticipate that with your capacity to drink, you're capable of remembering to take something like that off prior to laying down for the night. But I mean, I could be wrong, unless you would like to have slept in it. So you are even still wearing your helmet. Oh, I mean, you still have the same amount of money you had before, so you're not really that broke. You've just been riding the lap of not exactly luxurious for, like 10 days. Having a bender. Fair enough. Hmm. So everyone else effectively makes their way downstairs, and a particular tabaxi was not with you previously in your exploits den in Leyland. However, they had volunteered their services previously to Leyland and knows of your exploits from the city/town in its reconstruction. And you all find yourselves effectively in the tavern, down for breakfast. The gruff-looking barkeep kind of giving you the stink eye, wondering if you'll ever leave, because he feels like at this point you've drunk him out of more than you've been worth. Oh, of course. He's the kind of guy that would give everyone the stink eye just because he can. Hmm. So as the remainder of everyone that's still in the tavern that hasn't left to go do errands and things, are still hanging around with their breakfasts and potentially a little hair of the dog drink in the morning. Um, the barkeep asks you where you'll go. Well, who is still there that has not run off to do errands at this point? Okay. All right. So pocket bacon, Azzy. All right. So then he'll ask Azzy. Why not? So you there, sir, in the armor. Where are you headed next? Oh, I just want to know in case I have to send someone after you if I find that there's been any damages to my fine upstanding estate here. Very well. He goes. He goes and gets you some more pocket bacon. Oh, Leyland. Well, chairs aren't normally meant to be broken, but so be it. It's the principle. He gives her the stink eye. Very well. At least I'll know where to find you if I need to send someone to serve you. There's no violence in this threat. It'd be a simple peacekeeper, an individual of the law. Nope. He'll he kind of glances at the coin on the table, glances at you, and just nods his head. Hmm. So, Nokris services at the temple. You doing anything in particular, or just being there for the services? Hmm. So you speak with the Judicator, let's call him. It's an easier word to use than have me try to bring out something else about the priesthood. I am well. I feel like my Discord is gonna blow up again on me, but we'll see. Yeah, I just clicked on another text. I clicked on another text window and like it wasn't loading. It was giving me like the ghosted text thing. I'm like, oh, that they have. We see to them on a regular basis. Very well. We will make it done. I will note it, and it shall be done. Very well. Anyone else doing any side business on their way to the gates? All right. Very well. Okay. Just a normal straight dagger, no plus ones, nothing fancy, just straight dagger. Okay. There's definitely some places where you can get ink and pens, or quills, I should say, rather, and parchment if you require it, towards the east end of the city. Okay, yeah, quills, yeah, quite a bit. Very well. So, upon your way headed east, you do happen upon a small little weapon shop where you're able to pick up a dagger for the low, low price of 2 gold. As you make your way to the maybe infamous Enricio's house of tomes, where you find the proprietor, Enricio, there with some fancy looking jacket on with red kind of a silken top and some gold emblazons and buttons. welcoming you. Yes, what can I do for you? Ah, okay, yes, very well. We'll call it 10 vials, 2 quills. Any papers at all, or no paper required? Okay, very well. We will pass that for 460 gold. So he hands you your goods, pulling them from shelves behind him, and making the transaction. 10 vials of ink, which will probably last you, like one vial of ink would probably last you like, I'd say probably like 2-3 pages in a tome. So if you're writing enough for 2 or 3 pages in a tome, it would be one vial. One spell is probably not going to be that much, so I don't think it would cost you that much in terms of ink. Right. So we'll call it you have 10 vials, and then as you write into your tome for the spells, we'll make a determination on how much ink it consumes based upon the spell. So I take it then you make your way to the gate to meet up with everyone? Alright, very well. So, pending any other individuals doing errands and things, I think everyone has convened. Mm-hmm. Nothing in this particular region, but we did hear some words from the south. Probably about 20 days ago or so. So if there's any hint, you might find more upon it to the south. Yes, probably Leyland. We had originally heard reports from farther south past the mare, but if memory serves me correctly, I believe that the tracking of the individual might have been heading north. All right, so everyone finds their way to the southern gate, and there is much horse packing and climbing upon of animals. Okay. let's say, yeah, because you had the wagon when you arrived before it, but let's say that you're not going to have Dave, unfortunately, because. But let's say that you do, in fact, have a horse that replaces such a majestic beast. And this may, in fact, be a chestnut mare with flowing, flowing golden mane. I'm not saying that their name is Honey. I didn't say it was Honey. Yeah. Why not like Buttercup? Okay. You will. You can. You can. Yeah. Yes, they're all muffins. Up next. Up next will be Lemon Poppy, followed by the infamous Pumpkin. Hmm. All of it. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So everyone has their steed and a wagon, and you gather together and set sail slash hoof on this fantastic voyage to the south. So the total trip here is going to probably take, let's see, everyone's mounted, be like 1, 2, 3. I'd have to guess. Probably that's the case. He's currently AFK, so I'm going to have to fill that in for him and say yes, he is. Because size matters. It's designed to go into war. It's not designed to pull a cart. I'm just kidding. So it is about size, huh? That's fair. Just don't go down. Anyways, we set out on our adventure from Neverwinter. And let me get my fancy drawing pen out with a wonderful color. So here we are. Here we are in Neverwinter. And we begin our journey going to the south, following the road. And everyone's making good time because, you know, we're badasses on these mounts. We pass by some random travelers that are dragging carts towards Neverwinter, probably to trade because, you know, we are on one of the main roads running between the south and the north. And about midday, you reach more or less here. Nothing of interest happens as of yet. You continue south and eventually come across a broken down cart on the side of the road. Yep, there is an semi-aged merchant kind of clamoring around next to the cart while his rather large half-orc assistant is currently trying to lift the cart to place a new wheel onto the axle. Bunch of do-gooders. I get it. Okay. All right. So between the individuals that are aiding this particular half orc, you work out among the motions that need to happen that the orc and one of you are going to lift while the other places the wheel on the axle and drives it into position. Okay, very well. So then, let me have the both of you give me a strength check for being able to assist in lifting this cart, which is potentially laden with some potentially profitable goods. Maybe. Oh, okay, no problem. All right, so between the two of you, you succeed in lifting it the required amount of distance off the ground, so that the half orc can place the wheel on and effectively mallet it home, so that it's successfully now on the axle. You didn't struggle too much lifting it and holding it. The cart is kind of laden, but Holly definitely made it look a lot easier than it was. Uh, we are headed for Neverwinter, but I have to imagine that somewhere many miles back on the road we must have come afoul on a rock and our wheel began to wobble. Not paying much mind to it, as it's not really mine to mind. With my assistant here, I should be paying attention, but clearly was not. We eventually had the wheel finally come off, somewhere around here, and we veered sharply off the road to the side. Well, I thank you for that information. Mm. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. We are selling weapons and armor to the guard in Neverwinter. Well, I would hope so, but none that I can part with for you. And as you effectively turn to depart, they get back onto their cart as well. He gives you a wave. Thanks for the aid and the lay of the land ahead. Well, when we came through, it all looked pretty good, I'd imagine, but who can really tell now, right? He's he's effectively being kind of a dick, so. Well, we'll be on our way. The half orc assistant basically cracks the straps behind the horses, and they begin on their journey to the north yet again. Now. 30, 40. They startle, and let me do a quick roll. 1 second. So one of them is not fooled by this illusion. The other one, however, is tries to pull to the right, and the other horse goes with it because it assumes that it's being pulled in that direction. Because if you've ever steered a cart, if you pull on one side, it will attempt to go that direction. So the cart slowly turns off of the road into the small ditch next to it, and it gets lodged in there and stuck again. The old man in the cart basically hops up real quick, looking around frantically, and begins kind of motioning and shouting to his assistant while keeping an eye behind him towards you, as he was hoping for a suave and smooth getaway when it appears that maybe he's not getting that currently. Hand over the head. Just brush it off. Alright, so you recommence on the road. It's getting to be a little past midday, maybe towards the beginnings of dusk. And you're beginning to approach somewhat near to the crossing, but a little shy when you approach by nightfall. So you'll likely either want to continue in the night with lamplight, or you want to set camp. You decide. So currently you're right here, right at this position. The wayside is like right there. It's basically in off the high road, probably about 8 miles, give or take. So maybe it's a little farther to the left than where I marked it based upon the 5 mile hex. But yeah, it's probably somewhere like here-ish. But now we're splitting hairs, and I'm just drawing, dead faces. Mm-hmm. Like a lean-to. unless you're trying to encircle something with the canvas, in which case then it's more like a yurt, like Kita noted.
Well, no, I'm just going from the top where the canvas is at on the wagon down a little bit further out from the wagon.
Gotcha. So kind of like outstretched a little bit and, pulled down as much as you can with some kind of pole or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's fucking a sapling laying around somewhere. I'll just rip it up. Fuck it.
Fair enough. We'll call it the old sapling lean-to.
There we go. Yep. I'm sure that should give us plenty of room to either sleep close in it if it rains or like that. But yeah.
Which, looking at the night sky, it is partly cloudy, so there could be chance of rain this
Where's
evening.
Marco? Marco is not here. He's visiting Polo because I won't have the firewood. About time you get a breathe fire on it. Why can't Marco move? Marco's very hungry. Oh, snap. I like I arranged the fire and put the stove down to create a fire pit. And instead of taking out my wood and steel, I instead just use pretty small fire and I just put it on fire because it is immediately enamored. Argo, you're going to have better luck coming into the light that represents your stones than whatever else you're ready for. Oh, as he pulls the spare flint into his mouth. Yes, I like the way this is coming. Argo, come into the light and talk about that. You'll provide better cover than in this case the trees. Yeah, besides, I can't get over the blue cross. Are you gonna be doing that
I'd
without
ship it.
missing a beat? Without missing a beat, as you'll. That's hot. Oh man. As he walks by, pull out the flask. I mean, your flute like him. Are you like him? Yeah, she just shed her scales. You can do that? What? She turns back to Nodris. Do you do that flute? Can I have one? Yeah, I've actually got a can full of his old scales. I pull out my thunder can. Give it a little shake. And while as he's making passes and stuff, his flask empty and an acid sphere goes off. Ah, you bitch.
It's gonna be a long night.
I smack him on the side of the head with the wooden spoon. You can come get this again, child. Holly pulls out her own flask and kind of whispers to Azzy, "Take this flask and put these scales." As he pulls the spare flask out from the inside of his breastplate and sips it, he goes, how old is Talia, considering she's 15. She was also my Lazarus after the red one. Yes, we tutor all the time. But yes, we know Argo is older. They are old. By the way, you say that. What? Why do you say they are older? Do we not have mature? Um,
Sorry, I guess like elf cougars are a thing. So
yeah, they are. And everyone call me Holly. Or do you prefer Holly? You can call me Holly. He's mine. Fuck off. I give both of them a wink. As you get lots of fun. Aw. Thank you.
All right, so everyone settles in, I guess, for the night.
John's like, ah, fuck, these people are starting to get into the RP aspect. They're talking more.
No, hey, it's totally fine. It honestly is really fine. So.
I was able to take a few paces out from the camp and trace a circle around it, just kind of marking his path for such.
All right, very well.
I'll stay up with Danger first.
Okay.
No,
I have nothing to ask. I don't care nor know.
I am.
I would really suggest just listening to her and allow her to tell you that, and then just finish your puzzle completely.
Okay.
So, but the real question though is whose aged wisdom is better at that point?
I am not going to argue that point. You know I will argue.
Hey,
I will
say
argue
so.
it.
I will argue in the wizard's language and still win.
It's like stupid old fairy tale.
God damn.
Yeah, high intelligence. It's one of those things that not a person looks in the sky and in Draconic says to Sapros, "Oh, it's you."
Holly pulls out her journal, speak in lizard tongue.
All right. So first watch. Beyond the skitterings of night creatures, somewhere in the wilderness, you don't hear anything else of interest. Beyond the, I'm sure, the extra inquisitive nature of Holly around the campfire. So, second watch will be up next. But what was that?
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing? Okay.
Actually, no. I changed my mind. Holly would very much like to know what Azzy's drinking.
It's like, I don't know if I ever got my original flask back from Talia, so you don't want to know what Azzy's drinking. That's akin to fucking gasoline.
Well, y'all tasted it with Steve for dinner, so
Nope.
I think you'll understand. Yeah.
Yeah, the backup flask is not something he normally drinks.
Is that normal for where you're from? Do you normally drink gasoline? Because I don't think that's very healthy.
Mind your own business, little one.
I just want to know.
What do you drink where you're from?
Drink all kinds of things. My people are mostly traders, so we drink whatever comes through.
That sucks.
All right. So with that, we'll move on to second watch in your boozing. Will cease as we move on to Nokris's turn.
I was gonna say neither of them have passed out, correct?
No, no, no. I believe that they made it to sleep under their own power at this point in time. I won't force them to be drunk leading into tomorrow.
I very much wanted to have her start obnoxiously singing sea shanties with him,
Okay,
but I didn't know how to segue into the conversation, so it didn't happen.
that's fair. There's always tomorrow night.
There's always tomorrow night, you're right.
I'll segue into it for you.
All right, so the rain starts up a little bit. It's just kind of like a light drizzling rain currently, but with the clouds rolling from the south, you can tell it's probably going to be a little heavier rain before the night's through.
With that, I will
You did have all those things.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah. I just realized that.
Yep. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
But yes, I will gently nudge Thurson to get into the wagon so they don't kill its wet self for it.
Holly needs an urging. She hates getting killed.
Foxy. Get them there, and then keep the canvas. I would rearrange it once they're all inside the wagon. I rearrange the canvas on the outside. That way the port is down a little bit more open, so I can have a fire pit closer to the wagon, but not obviously dangerous from fire or anything. But enough so that there is at least some warmth being guaranteed.
All right. And those motions and the timing of the rest of the evening for you basically subside into the end of your watch, where it now begins the third watch.
Anytime the rain takes a change, I will get Tamora. Careful. I need to not die. But I did it the best I could, but it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Oh.
Careful, slippery when wet. Right, so the last remaining vestiges of the evening as they roll forward towards the dawn. The rain stops. Kind of abruptly, too.
Well, abruptly.
Yes, it's now going to be morning, and everyone can wake.
Yeah, sorry. We are asking that since I technically ran across the board. Get out of our way, otherwise it's impossible for our team to be pleased with you for doing better than we expected.
How's the sky looking?
It's clear. After that fantastic nat 20, it's clear as all fuck.
I don't know. Why doesn't he say that his eyes have been looking great?
And maybe lick his finger and put it in the wind and see how good it fares.
See if he succeeds.
Looks to the visitor top floor, whacks them on the back with his one foot.
I'm in all armor.
Yeah, you still feel it tingle. instead of instead of hurting, it just rattles the armor. It's my one trinket. It's my unbreakable trinket.
So calm. This is fucking hard. Jesus.
I thank you very much as I point to my rather sheeted there. Probably older than I look.
Not any worse.
No.
Jesus Christ. Looks like it's gonna keep on losing.
Can't believe it.
Uh,
Make this hard.
since I imagine that the rain put out our campfire, as you'll pass out some dried fruit and dried meat, some jerky.
Pocket bacon, okay.
Yeah, you know, the shit you paid for.
Mm-hmm,
I'm gonna
mm-hmm,
work
mm-hmm.
on berries for the fire as well.
Very well.
Bright idea.
Very well.
Guess we mount up and continue on to
Break camp and ride. Okay.
No, 719.
Yep, very well. You are now sparkling and clean. Not with visible sparkles, unless you want to prestidigitate those sparkles upon yourself. Okay.
How did you do that? Why did all the darts go? Did you hurt other people? Holly's any other?
As he leans down out of the saddle and scoops up some mud and smears across it.
All right. So with that, and now that everyone sparkles in the bright and brilliant sunlight, uh,
Your God, analogy to Christianity, help us all.
we hit the road.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was good.
All right. So as you hit the road, you begin your travels yet again to the south, making your
Kind of look for Twilight.
I mean, probably with the same amount of sparkling, though.
Not on this end.
Well, not for you. And that's how it was.
Now it's red.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. Wait till the credits. So you pass by the crossroads here. There's what you'd expect for morning traffic. Some people on horseback moving around on the trail, probably sending messages or moving to go purchase things, whatever the case may be. Travelers on their merry way. Some distantly sparse merchants making their way through as well. It seems like the work you had done before in Leyland is starting to benefit as the traffic you're seeing on the roads are somewhat increased compared to where it was before. Nope. And it's probably, let's say, mid-morning, maybe like 10 a.m. ish. You're roughly about here on the road. And you see some travelers who have kind of stopped on the side and have sat down, looking like they're taking some kind of break. Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop.
Traveler took a big sit.
They did. Big sit. So they took a break on the side of the road.
So big, you made the DM knee see.
That's right. So they're having a big sit on the side of the road. Um, just kind of hanging out there, looking like they're not really distressed as far as you can tell, but they are definitely oddly sitting on the side of the road.
Hey, fellow travelers. Can't help but notice it's rather odd what you'd be seeing there at this moment. If they're close to Leyland.
One of them kind of peers up. Well, we were leaving there, but appears that my friend here is taken a little ill to riding.
Ah, I kind of step down for a moment. May I?
Sure, if you'd like.
I took a look at him. I'm basically discerning by medicine. He probably has wounds.
Yes.
I I look around and see if there are any herbs locally pretty quickly in the area that can help with that.
Okay. Give me a medicine check,
Can I assist with that,
if you would like.
given my background?
So roll again.
Yes. You do locate a couple of particular nettles that, when prepared in the proper way, would ease the motion sickness.
I go over, pick them, take out a quarter, a couple, grind them up, and then put them in a cheesecloth, a small cheesecloth packet of violet, very small bag, and give him a couple of this day. Fill in some water, have him, and place these in it, let it saturate the entire pot, and then have him drink a cup of this, and he should be good to go for the rest of the day. And
They're yeah, they're both male.
and he should be fine to go after the extra in case this is not his first time getting motion sick.
Oh, I didn't know what it exactly was. It's just only really been happening to me now for the past couple of years, but it's very strange. I thought maybe I was cursed.
I don't believe that you are. I believe, unfortunately, it could just be because you're quite an older gentleman, or
Yeah, he's probably like middle-aged.
it might just be something you've developed over the years, unfortunately. Maybe you're even a little bit slightly off balance.
Ah, well, I'll take your word for it. You certainly know more than I do.
Where are you headed?
Well, we're gonna head all the way over to Fandalen, so it shouldn't be too much longer of a trip, but we definitely have lost a bit of time here on the road.
Well, road up to the point where trail breaks off very nearly. You begin to Fandalen just at one of the local pharmacies where doctors receive you there. They have some fairly trustworthy people, and they should be able to do whatever you need.
All right, very well. I will have myself tended to.
Thank you. And in return, can you just tell us a little bit of what's going on with Leyland since he's been gone for a little while?
Oh, well, of course, yes. So Leyland has kind of blossomed a little bit. We've grown quite a bit. There's more walls up and defenses. There's a new temple that's been erected. Shops are beginning to come to life a bit more. They've kind of made a bit of a formal headman setup where we now have a particular individual of the town that keeps track of everyone's wants and needs, and we will place a kind of a board of sorts for everyone to help each other if they have anything in particular need to be addressed. But otherwise, it's growing. It's growing nicely.
That's good to hear. With this person you're in charge of seeing the other needs, would it be Griselda or Grisaldi?
Oh, it is Griselda, yes.
That doesn't surprise me. Well, thank you. I'll
hmm
be on
hmm
my way.
All right, very well. Safe travels on the road.
You as well. I kind of get back up on my horse and spur gently along to continue down the road.
Very well.
Holly pulls out her journal and writes, "Is a lizard duck door with a little heart next to it."
Is that your mention of a new temple being constructed?
hmm
Yes, I'm not sure who.
You may find out when you get there.
Yeah. It cannot be that temple.
Well, that means more competition for my own plans. We'll see.
Your own plans.
Well, seeing who has behind the rather hefty sack of coin, she shakes her head coldly and then realizes maybe a little low. It's quite a full load.
The guy just going, uh-huh, lots of coin,
Galio.
Galileo. Galileo that we dealt with in last video.
Yes. Well, the towns are protected as long as we've got her there, but we have to go visit this tower, so I'm sure we'll be making another trip in southern France with craft training the wizards, because I want to
Polly kind of still has her notebook out or her journal out, and she pulls one of the little bookmarks, and perceptive eyes can see a very crude drawing of Talia in the top corner. And she writes, "Very cranky, but very kind. Reminds me of my Oma."
And what were you saying, Argo? Yes, yes it is. And she frowns. She's noticing more that perhaps some humans should return her the lesson that they're getting kind of too close to me sometimes.
And what did you say, Argo? I didn't hear what you said.
Still didn't get it.
I I decide I will give Argo not all of them and add 0 experience opportunity to exactly what life advice is. If I get what I gotta do, I'll do it.
It's necessary in that case. Adding to some of the
Yeah. Everyone needs to learn how to be religious.
interesting. So I'm assuming we're probably getting fairly close to the town now, then.
Yep, you are getting close to town, and as you take the last bend of the road and come around, you see in your eyes in front of you the town of Leyland. The town of Leyland, yet again. Now with less calories
Now with less calories.
and less cultists. Um, so, coming into the town from the north, you pass by a newly erected kind of roadhouse where you can leave your stable animals if you wish. Otherwise, there are additional stables inside town.
Yeah, definitely going to the stable area. Less careful, of course. Kind of get the balance of these things. She's cautious.
Azzy will take time to park the cart there, so that way he doesn't have to haul it further in. But yeah, he as well will find a much closer stable than one on the outside of town. So
All right, very well.
on a smaller street passing.
Yep.
Okay, so you all ride into town. Like badass champions, kind of returning to your former field of glory, being like, yeah, look at us, motherfuckers, we're back. And you make your way back to where the town square is. Arriving in the square, you see Valdi, who is poking their head out from a formal engineering works that they have constructed around the square for all of their carpentry and masonry needs as they rebuild. They notice you as they come in, and they kind of wave happily and warmly that you're back.
Made some progress, have we?
Well, yes. Now that the threats were gone, it was much easier to focus on reconstruction.
Yeah,
The weather has been pleasant, yes, as much as it can be. So some changes we've had in the area I can bring you up to speed on. There's a new member of the council now. Goes by the name Jack Torver, and he is the proprietor of Leyland's first and newest general store. General store, yes. See, we have turned around quite a bit.
Yeah, you guys have trained.
Chapter where it was turning around this is when we looked at the
You had a city before we came.
Yeah, it's a long story.
it wasn't so much a city. It was still a tiny business, but it was growing. Although it is becoming something a bit more akin to a very upscale town at this point.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, you got to think like it's a town. It's a town that basically is rebuilding. There's at most some palisades going around, maybe a couple like yeah, we're not quite at city status. It's like wants to be a city, but it's still kind of country bumpkin.
Right, exactly. Upscale town.
So, I heard that you had a new temple. What's that about? What you up to?
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Well, once you had left, and there appeared to be a vacancy of deities in the area, we had the Tamora Shrine was constructed here. The particular elven individual who runs it is named Puck.
Sounds like a fuck.
Well, I can't say for sure, but he does sell potions.
Smells some potions.
Mm-hmm.
This man, this puck, is that all you know about him? You just let this man erect a temple in your town?
Well, he comes in, pays the way, helps with the labor. There's no particular reason why we can't allow reconstruction. It benefits the area.
Fair enough, as long as it is only beneficial. You know,
See,
your last experience with religion.
well, I mean, you got to think too. The Lathander Shrine's still there, and that's
Oh, is it?
yep. Shrine of Lathander was there before. That was the one where Marigold was the head priest of, where you had saved the orphans and delivered them back to, and all that good jazz.
What, since I have some knowledge of Witcher, and I imagine other potential viewers, what do I know about the followers of
Timora,
Tamora?
yeah, Timora is the goddess of luck. So basically, like good fortune, maybe some gambling, that kind of stuff.
Just chaotic good.
Okay.
Ezzy's gonna go over to the shrine.
Well, okay then. It is right there next to the square.
He'll hitch his horse outside. Walk in.
Anyone else joining him? Yeah.
I'll join.
I'll join as well.
All right, very well.
I definitely plan on attending the shrine.
Very well. So upon entering the Shrine of Tamora, Puck recognizes some newcomers entering and turns and welcomes you. He's a little rambunctious fellow, maybe a little bit of an upstart, but he sees you, welcomes you. What can I do for you here at the shrine?
Heard you sell potions.
Oh, I do indeed. Yes. Are you interested? What can I get for you?
Well, what do you have?
Well, let me show you. So he takes you over to a little side table where he lays out a little cloth and pulls out a couple vials to put up on top above for you to look at. I have here some potions of healing, potions of climbing, should you be finding your way into some treacherous terrain, a potion of growth, some water breathing if we're going diving, and if you really, really, really need to have it, I could find my way to part with this potion of heroism.
Ooh, a potion of heroism. What is that?
So the potion of heroism basically gives you bless for an hour. You gain 10 temporary HP for an hour,
Oh, that's
while having bless without having to concentrate
what is bless?
You get an extra D4 of radiant
on your attacks.
Huh.
So bless is the D4 of additional roll to the attack roll or saving throw. So basically, it's basically like having the blessing of being like a I am
Oh,
really
okay.
better at evading this now.
19.
Right.
Okay, cool. What kind of healing potions are there? Greater or lesser?
They are the down and dirty, straight up healing potions that are not so bueno compared to what you're packing.
Oh, I don't have any.
Well, then maybe you need some.
What does the potion of growth do?
Potion of growth gives you the it gives you the effect of enlarge or reduce in size for a 1d4 hours when you drink it. So basically, it'll either make your character size when you drink it. I mean, potion of growth. Hey. Yes. You can be a giant size or you can be really small.
Is there any way I can make that effect permanent? I just
I,
want to get big, man. I just want to be tall.
I can certainly try something out if you're lucky.
Well, if I wanted to be lucky, I'll look at the shrine. I've never seen this shrine before. Can you explain it?
Well, it's simply the goddess Timora. She's there with her outstretched hands, giving you the choice of option between winning or losing, good luck or bad luck. Which would you choose? Which is the right one? That's the question, and only she knows.
Well, he kind of frowns as he's explaining this and kind of baffled by his description. And she kind of looks at him and says, "Why would you choose bad luck?"
That's not.
He just said,
It's not what he means, though.
"Seems like a very confused guy."
She's fickle, to be sure.
But as long as you treat people right and do the right thing, she still, unfortunately, wants to punish you.
As he's kind of weighing that in his head right now. Have I been doing the right thing? he he'll walk up to the shrine and he'll take out maybe 20 gold, put it at the base of the shrine, take a kneel and offer a prayer.
Very well.
We'll, after he says his little prayer, he'll stand up, smiling a little bit to himself, and he'll walk over and say, "I want your potion of heroism. How much?"
5,000 gold.
Oh, no, go fuck yourself. Okay, how about that potion of growth?
Potion of growth, 150.
150. I'll give you 120.
I see what you're trying to do here. How about 130? You did just pay 20 to the shrine.
I'll take that.
Very well.
That's good. I can't see. It's dark.
The darkness.
Alright, now what is it? I gotta gain a little bit more. It's a potion of growth, right?
Correct.
Now,
guy, though.
I love tall men. Okay, make me taller.
Okay, vanity it is. So, so the way it works is basically you get to choose the effect upon consuming. All right, so let me yes, 1d4 hours, and let me read you the description of the spell enlarge/reduce. You cause a creature or an object you can see within range to grow larger or smaller for the duration. Choose either a creature or an object that is neither worn nor carried. If the target is unwilling, it can make a Constitution saving throw. On success, the spell has no effect. If the target is a creature, everything it is wearing and carrying changes size with it. Any item dropped by an affected creature returns to normal size at once. During the enlarging, oh, or you could just link it, that's fine too. But during enlarging, the target size doubles in all dimensions, and its weight is multiplied by 8. A growth increases its size by one category, from medium to large. For example, if there isn't enough room for the target to fit double its size, a creature or object attains the maximum possible size within the space available. Until the spell ends, the target also has the advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Target's weapons also grow to match its size. These weapons are now enlarged, and attacks with them deal an additional 1d4 extra damage. Reduction is the opposite of that, going smaller, with reduced deduction by the same 1d4.
Wonderful. As it's heroism.
As he is doing his business with the priest or whatever, uh, Holly, having observed what he did at the shrine, is going to walk up and she's just going to place a little opal button in one of the hands of the statue.
Okay.
And she's just going to walk away.
Okay, so you're going to have a -1 on attack rolls for 24 hours. And Azzy, from your donation, you're going to have a +1 for 24 hours. So basically, attack rolls. So basically, until midday of the following day from today, you will have that benefit.
Gotta get to slashing. I do not appreciate this. After Ozzy concludes his business, he's gonna strike up a conversation with the individual. What was his name?
Puck.
Puck. Puck the Puck. Um, so, Puck, what brought you and your alternative look at the statue religion here?
Well, we have presence already in Fandalin. This was simply the most logical location to continue to spread the good word of Tamora to the south.
Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Neverwinter, but I spent some time assisting in the temples up in Fandalin.
Well, I, for one, welcome Tamora.
You, for one, welcome your new overlord. Okay, got it.
It's not what I said at all. Ozzy has got this. I'm gonna throw that out there right now. Despite
Very well.
being a sailor and a little bit of a gambler himself, uh, he sense that he has a bit of a relationship with this god. Um, he'll bid the puck a farewell and return to the center of town to see what else is going on.
Very well. Farewell and have a blessed day. May fortune be on your side. So, you leave the shrine, having found your luck, or lack thereof, and some potions, which may or may not make you bigger.
Bigger is better.
So once you're back out, you basically find that Valdi has moved on, is keeping to their duties, and Griselda is currently in the area now, looking over some plans and also keeping an eye towards the board, which you can see posted around the square, detailing out a bunch of quests that individuals in the town have currently for things needing doing or locating particular objects. Alright, very well. Looking upon the board, you find that there is a... Looking at the board, you find that there is a posting of some farmers to the north requesting potential aid to figure out what's happening around the caves of their particular farmland. There seems to be something going on where their livestock gets raided or their food supplies get stolen, and they've yet to locate the individuals that are the culprits. So they would request aid for tracking down whatever may be carrying out such deeds for the paid reward, the bounty of 750 gold. Similarly, there is a missive posted by Griselda herself, where there is potentially a presence of some cultists again in the area, out by an old lighthouse, which is currently called the Tower of Storms, which is again to the north. And they believe that a vessel has crashed or shipwrecked upon the shores. It is a strange vessel, one which is not made of wood and timber. So she would like someone to go and investigate and figure out if there's any cultists there, and if there are, to take care of them, because that's the last thing they want in this area again, is more cultists. You're giving him that missive, or you're... Okay. Gotcha. So you've now all been made aware of the postings of the board.
I don't know. I'd kind of like the easy job. Just saying. You
Alright, so the weird lighthouse ship. Ah, yes, okay, well, great to see you again. Hopefully you can help us with these issues yet again. And you'll be compensated quite well. So, seeing the ship to the north, the reports have been that it looks to be of... how do I describe this? It looks to be like a death ship. It's been reported that the face or the emblazon on the crest of the ship itself is that of a giant skull, which is never a good sign. They also noted that... of course. They also noted that the ship itself did not appear to be fashioned out of wood. So that, to me, in itself, begs a question to investigate on its own. What kind of vessel is this, and how is it possible to make its way across the waves without any timber? Well, anyways, so to the effect, you'll find the tower a little ways to the north. She kind of marks it on your map. It used to be an old lighthouse, to keep the ships from crashing into the rocks that this ship has found itself in. Well, they noted it was kind of a material. It was a dullish gray look, and when it was wet, it kind of shined, so I'm not certain. It could be maybe metallic of some sort, or maybe even organic. I can't be certain, but they definitely said it was grayish in tone. Well, how about you roll for me with your enlarged intelligence? So, from your background, you've heard some faint stories and whisperings of these dreadnoughts, these ships of the dead that fit this description.
As he kind of tilts his head to the side, could be a dreadnought. No. Oh, you'll love it, mate. You hate dead things.
I hate dead things because they get back up after the time the mission is up.
That's what we sailors
Ah, yes. You'll want to go to speak to the leader of the farming organization up there. His name is Marciano Belta. It seems that they've been come under attack as of late in sort of a way that their goods have been wandering off and going missing. Livestock and some of their crop yields. And no one can really determine the source.
These start happening at the same time.
Not quite. The farmers started to see the incidents happening prior to the arrival of the ship, so they may not be directly related, but there's still a possibility.
That's promising. Alright, well, looks like we have our quests.
Yep. Alright, well, yes, thank you. It currently is probably like midday, so.
Hopefully head out and set my little bit faster than most of the world. Unless I'm a bit faster, then it makes sense.
Holly kind of sheepishly puts her fingers together and pipes up after Naka says that. I heard when I was in Neverwinter that there was a particular shop out there that maybe has some not so common things people could maybe kind of, buy. So I want to go see what they have.
Oh, peculiarity shop.
Yes, that.
Well, that's on the way out of town. We'll stop by there and see if we don't see anyone. It's not like we have to take the long way around town to get there. Ooh, do I still have my crystal doorknob?
I don't see why you wouldn't have your crystal doorknob unless you
Oh,
pawned
you
it.
gave that to the app. Oh, we didn't go to the apple guy.
Correct.
Exactly. Crystal doorknob. Yeah, I'm gonna go there, stop in, and then we can head on from there. Figure out what this mystery ship is with the motif to the gods that we don't have to deal with, or potentially have to. So good. Give Galileo our regards, as much as he'd like to actually pay attention to us. I'm coming with you, though. His divine unsupervised, as I should remind everybody else that's been to the House of Thalmor.
Holly is already skipping away.
I pursue after a moment.
Calls back over her shoulder to Nostress and Argos. No canoodling, you two.
I was gonna say, aren't you going to the House of Thalmor? Yeah, I'm going with you.
No, I was talking to Azzy.
Oh, I
Did I
thought you
say
said.
Nostress?
Yeah, I
You
thought
did.
you said that.
Oh, I meant Azzy and Argos.
Okay, so first destination it will be the House of Thalvar due to proximity. So you arrive at the House of Thalvar. You've seen that some of the constructions have been cleaned up considerably from where it was before, and the tower is on the mend. Walk. Yep. Go ahead. I was saying, walking into the base of the tower, you see a familiar office with a familiar back, hunched over a desk, visible to you from the doorway. Galileo kind of raises his hand for a moment, marking his place, and then turns to look, recognizing you, and standing to greet you. Ah! You've returned. Wonderful. What can I do for you? Ah, yes, yes, we are underway, trying to see if we can successfully reconnect the beacon at the top of the tower. But first, we need to properly align all the support structures to get it in place. Well, I suppose if that would be all, I will return to my things. It was great to see you, and good journey to you.
As he'll pipe up, did you ever decipher those books?
Well, not fully. The problem about these particular ciphers is that they are well done, and I don't have the code to which to begin them, so it's taken enough time that I can begin to think that I've successfully unlocked them. However, if I have the wrong sequence, things still may seem to be correct. However, it could be completely wrong. So, from my tests, still a work in progress, but it's moving.
Anything I can do to help?
Well, unless you're capable of deciphering these ciphers with me, I don't believe so.
Alright, have a good day.
So with that he goes back into his office and returns to his seat, pouring himself over the books in front of him. That's okay. So from his reply, he would probably tell you that, well, there's nothing here in the house, but you'd be best off trying to find yourself a library under the tutelage of various mages, and hope for your capacity to study some of the tomes if they allow you to. You as well.
Mr. Gallagher, young innocent friend has our very own library I'd like to recommend. I meant to ask, are there any copies of
I suppose that's possible. Yes, I could. I'll be doing my research. They could have a little time to look things over.
will provide for the spell components within this portion?
All right, very well.
I'll never see that.
Especially because he likes you. Yep. So, um, I guess the easiest way for me to try to discern this spell book to you is there are, let's see here. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 spells in here, ranging from level 1 all the way through 5. So, depending upon how long it takes to jot down a spell, you may be here a while. Right. So
2 hours.
per spell level. Yep. So if you were to do a 5th level spell, you'd be sitting there for 10 hours. So, probably the easiest way then for me to list these spells for you is how I can read them off, I suppose. Although, will this give me the spell or will this give me an attack? There we go. So, Firebolt, the Light spell, Mage Hand, and then you already have Prestidigitation. Then there is Detect Magic, Mage Armor, which I'm pretty sure you already have, Magic Missile, Shield. Then there is Misty Step and Suggestion, Counterspell, Fireball, Fly, Greater Invisibility, Ice Storm, Cone of Cold. Okay.
And if you don't know shield already, I highly recommend it.
So, alright, so if we're going to do Magic Missile then, it'll be what, 2 hours and 50 gold of worth of components. So basically for, right, right, which is fine. So if you transcribe the spell for Magic Missile, consume half a vial and 1 page. So considering you've kind of front loaded your cost of gold for the transcription. But you'll be at the tower now still for another 2 hours. So if everyone is with them at the tower would like to hang out for an additional 2 hours, you're welcome to.
I at least walk in around. You don't need to.
Okay.
So we can discuss the potential takeover of the House of Firewater after we
Very well. So I guess let's begin this persuasion, this feat of persuasion.
it's going to be my only net money.
So so what would you like to do with this particular location?
Well, in order to help encourage, keep magic on the side, or at least certainly assess it as a society core competence, what is the elements we can use that? So it feels like this don't have to get overly weird for the House of Firewater either. So that there's a technician, like there's magic users of all kinds, and finance agencies, towns, nice little nice little neighborhood. Could be very good for the economy as well, and gives you an opportunity to research absolutely unobstructed.
I don't see how a temple could take the place of adding a planar beacon to the top of the tower.
See, the clerics in this realm, in particular, have priests such as myself that full-on clerics that are quite adept at controlling planar energies and artifacts. So it's a good way to keep them in check.
But is it a good way to learn of it?
Absolutely. Because sometimes, as it says to yourself, not so destructive to be especially two sticks in order to ensure that it doesn't run wild again and destroy half the town.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Flat on the dice. Let's do this. No.
Well, I thank you for the offer, but I believe I have things well enough in order, and that we'll be more than capable this round to sustain its magical energies and not allow them to run wild. But should you feel the need to want to further persuade the issue, take it up with my headmaster in Neverwinter, who has tasked me with this particular project. And if he decides that he would much prefer to change hands, then I am not one to get in his way.
Sounds like a wonderful idea. Anyways, so I'm going to pass this as well. You can watch me though.
Alright, fair enough. So, back at the Shop of Peculiarity. You enter the shop to find a rather flamboyant male named Aubrey Silverspun behind the desk. Welcome to the Peculiarity Shop. How may I assist you?
Holly is already digging through anything she can see in the shop.
Alright, let me find out what you see in the shop.
As she's digging around the shop, she's talking to what's his name? Aubrey.
Aubrey, yep.
I'm looking for interesting things. I'm not from around here, so I don't know. I don't know what normally are in these shops. But I'm looking for fun, interesting things. Still just digging.
Alright, so among the things that are here, you find one kind of lackluster item, which is a like monogrammed and emblazoned and studded, all these fancy like bedazzlings all over the outside of it, like climber's pack. So basically, it would be like if somebody took a climber's pack and went ape shit with a bedazzler. It's basically what you've got. Maybe.
Like, what exactly is a climber's pack?
So it's just like a backpack that you would basically have like rope tied onto the side of, maybe some climbing pitons, like things like that in it. Maybe like like some kind of clawed component for you to assist with actually like climbing with your hands, or some foot gear that could assist with digging into the stone. That kind of thing. So the other components that you find here, which I have to roll for to figure out what they are, so there's 3 of them. Give me a second. Alright, so 44. There is a lovely, handcrafted by the finest gnome craftsmen known this side of the mountain. There is a mechanical canary inside of a lamp. It's just a steal. It's a steal for 100 gold. Then,
Does it do anything?
it's a mechanical canary, yes, it moves. It's kind of like, how I can best describe it to you would be like almost like a crank for the lamp. So you basically like crank to charge the lamp that runs off of like some kind of friction-based electricity, and as it glows from charging it, the mechanical canary basically does its little flap of its wings, and it opens its mouth as if it's like flying and chirping, but not making any audible noise.
Okay.
So the next item. The next item. This is the handcrafted visage of one Tebow Coppersmith. You look at this little ugly bust, little like trinket, and the face of this person. They look to be maybe a dwarf or a gnome. You can't really be certain. Maybe it's a halfling. Who can really tell? But their face is so hideous, that you can't truly know what race they are from just looking at this. But Tebow Coppersmith.
How much was the bust?
The bust is 40 gold. It says in his lineage that he was the proprietor and founder of quite a forge among the Underdark, but I can't seem to find any record of him beyond that, so I'm sure if you were to bring this bust to try and find his particular forge, someone would know more about it. Maybe they would even give you claim to it. I'm not sure, but 40 gold, 40 gold. Certainly worth a try. And the last item that he has for you. This ruined map. He pulls it out gingerly, very delicately, as it is an old, kind of decaying map. And there's like half of it, because the other half is kind of ripped and torn off. This old map marked the locations of the traps hidden among the ancient castle of Bivalat. Should you ever find yourself in this location, this map would prevent you from falling prey to its many traps and woes. This has been here for only a few weeks now. I came across this on travels very recently, and I have to say it's got quite a value. This particular map, should you be interested, would be able to go for 250 gold.
How much was the climber's pay?
65. Because of all the bedazzling.
Holly's kind of looking at all the stuff laid out on the counter in front of her. And she kind of pulls out the pack a little bit, and she's like holding it and playing with the bedazzles. And she says, I couldn't think of another word. Okay. What can you tell me about this thing?
Well, I don't know who it belonged to beforehand, but clearly it was someone that was quite adept at climbing, as this could be used as a defensive structure when you are on the cliffs. You could blind many a foe that might try to come at you, while maintaining a climber's grip and safety. This is literally like my favorite part of being able to do this.
As he slams down his pouch. How long?
I was calculating out how much gold I would have to be to do that. Holly immediately puts Max 405 gold down on the counter, wraps her arms around all of it, and takes her little like 5 foot orb out with all these treasures just beaming from ear to ear.
Ah, what a lucky purchase.
I just want to point out that the elf has, crazy how
I mean, is it junk? I don't know.
Now I'm just thinking, I don't know, like my budget inventory.
Yep. You never know though. You could be on a cliff, and you might have that pack on, and maybe something that tries to attack you by chance maybe has a negative penalty against their attack roll. I don't know. It could happen.
I look at armor just part of long shot design. Have you heard anything in the area of Royals that would well, for example, you have enough money to go to, I don't know if you've ever been to a dealer dealing trade before.
Nothing of much sort. No, I was to the south in the swamplands when many of it came to be, but I have had many a local come asking for trinkets and protection and things of that nature. Are you interested in one of them? An amulet, perhaps, to ward off evil?
I don't need the amulet.
Yippee
I
yippee.
I just kind of nod and looking at it and say, in your travels, did you hear mention of anyone by the name of Selak or a cult or cultists aside from the couple towers that we've dealt with prior here?
Mm, nothing that I directly heard of, no, but I know that there is always motion and various factions and agents moving through the swamps. It's quite possible that any of them could surface here and try to make their way sneakily back into the Northlands.
Keep your ears open then, because I do
Ah,
know a couple of local leaders.
very well, I will do so.
Also, keep an eye out for if you ever get any great swords and don't do any trust, give me a ring or give me a holler. I will come in and take a look.
Very well.
Thank you.
Have a fine day.
I nod and step outside. Holly, how are you going to get home now?
I can carry a doll.
I'm sure you can. I'm just asking how.
Buckle. Put it on my horse.
Fair enough. Okay, and did you get your
Old girl is, oh, I'm sorry, Argo. It's a lady, not girl. Just copying down some spells from, old boy of me, Giovanni, or whatever his name was.
Galio.
Giovanni, rather.
Giovanni
God damn it!
in the
I know what that
tower.
means.
Giovanni of the tower. We copy the book.
Uh, anyway, they'll be there for a little while, so I figured we should probably get a place to stay for the night.
I hear that. That's the case. We spoke with Aubrey. Now they have too much import at his store, but Holly did come away with some interesting finds.
I see that as I pluck the
So it's on the east side of town, near near to the post.
I go towards the post. I walk in and let's see if I can remember how that works. No, so I go to I go up to the tavern or where your footman or bar or wherever is manning it.
Hmm.
Combination pairings, please. And I ask them, how much for? Do you have room for 5 guests?
I do not. But if you want to try down by the docks, you may have luck at the inn.
Very well, I can definitely do that. What is this place called down by the docks? We've been here before, but that one has grown a little in the past.
Ah, yes, yes. It's the Umberhulks.
Umber hose?
Umberhulks.
Umber hose.
Yeah, the Umberhulks Shell Inn.
Yeah, like not the green ones, not the green ones, the amber ones.
Yes. Yes, the Umberhulk. He's been doing some great things with his hair.
Thank you. So that's the Umber hose. And I head towards the Umber hose.
Umberhulk. It's changing every time we say it. It's amazing. So you find yourself at the Underhulks Inn. Uh, it's it's literally right here on the map, by the way. I'm just gonna just gonna like point at it right here.
Yeah, I know. Umber. I said Umber.
Oh, you said umbral at one point, and then you said under. I think you said amber or umbra.
Yeah, I did. I said everything but one.
Right. So, anyways, you find yourself at the inn. The proprietor, Allian Malwin, greets you.
Malin, you said?
Malwin, Malwyn.
Greetings, Allian. Do you happen to have room for 5 guests at this inn?
I could spare room for 5. Yes.
Individual rooms, or would we need to share?
We could potentially get 3 rooms and have some sharing have to happen, but I could fit 5.
That is fine. How much?
5 gold apiece, including meals.
Done. And I take 2 gold from Azzy's coin purse and I take it into
Hmm?
my gilded one. Or her. That would be 23. Is it 5 per person?
5, yeah, 5 gold per person. Yeah.
So 12 and 13. Yeah. So 12 out of Azzy's and 13 out of mine.
Very well. Hmm. You have accommodations.
I'm sure we will. I'll be back in a little bit with the rest of my provisions.
Very well.
So I head back to outside. I head back to outside of the gilded bit. I want to say bit.
The shop.
Yeah. Now it can't speak. I head back to the shop where Holly and Azzy are.
Very well. You find them. You find them still on the street playing with their knickknacks.
Holly is also drawing them in her journal and writing like paragraphs next to them.
Good news. I've got us some rooms at the Umber Hulks Inn down by the docks.
You succeeded. Some of us don't need shells. Some of us left our shells.
I suppose so.
I got us some rooms there. There's only 3 rooms, so probably a couple of us will have to go too.
Ooh, you and me.
Sounds good.
Whose call's it there? Dave's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to sleep with him?
Yes.
Try that.
As he gets a little bit like tripped out of that.
I'll give both of them. I am not going to have to write up a document for you two on what days or what rooms, am I?
We'll work it out on our own, baby.
Well,
Uh,
seems like some contracts were formed behind the DM's back.
um, if you guys want, you can head over there now or go for it. It's paid for. But you can continue your endeavors in more relative comfort than outings.
Yeah, I actually need to do that. I need somewhere to write so I can redraw this piece of shit map.
Head down to the docks. It's one of the only complete buildings near there. I'll have it sign and a few names of the historical shell that go into it. I will go to the House of Balamon, and then Argo will head into Talia. Our home locations.
Alright, give Grandma some love from me.
I'm sure I do not need to tell her she is well attended.
Shit.
So I head towards the House of Balamon.
All right, awesome. Are you two?
All of my knickknacks as much as I can hold in my tiny arms, and I will start heading to the museum.
Patsy will help if you'll let him.
Nope. Wraps her arms tighter around all her knickknacks and just keeps on going. Jangle it the whole way down.
Do you at least want to borrow my shield so you can just dump it in there and float?
She considers it, says nothing, and keeps walking.
So I step into the tower.
Mhm.
Are they easy enough to spot? I imagine it is really.
Yeah, no, the main table. Yeah, the main table right there on the first floor and the landing. Argo's sitting there just transcribing effectively.
Do I see Talia?
Yeah, Talia should be just hanging out, basically, making sure Argo is not under siege by anyone.
I go to Talia. We have rooms waiting for us at the historical shell place. Are there rooms at the historical bookstore? How's our friend Gallia? Just as some notes need to be sent to deliver as I look over. Or the historical bookstore.
Both.
Okay. Just wanted to inform you though that we are coming for Talia's ass.
Yeah.
And I will need you to do that whenever Argo is done. And that is my adventure.
All right, very well. So you arrive back at the inn, and I'll just kind of say that you get yourselves a meal while you begin looking things over. And the remaining time of the 2 hours have now passed. So Argo, you are done transcribing your spell. Talia is probably a little worn out from just waiting, but you are both now free to roam about and leave the house. So whoosh, you head on over. You are now at the Umber Hulk's Shell Inn, finding the others currently feasting and poring over some trinkets.
Talking about these things are great. You see this guy? Look how sparkly this bag is. Do you have a sparkly bag? She goes and stashes all of her goodies in Nox's room. Comes back out and immediately orders just this huge tankard of whatever this guy's got.
So it gives you a large tankard of his house ale.
Ollie downs it in one go.
He raises his eyebrows. It gives you another tankard of his house ale.
Got that one as well.
After that, now you can make a Constitution check.
Lady can drink.
You are not even feeling it.
She'll slow down when we're there.
Just to do mine in the privacy of my own room.
And Leon, like, might run out of ale for the night. He's raining on the
All right. How are
Mug, I want the pitcher. Give me the pitcher.
okay? So you get the let's call it a what do they call that? A flask, I guess, or I guess a pitcher.
Flagon.
Flagon. Well, flagon's kind of just the cup though. It's a bigger cup, but it's a cup. I guess the pitcher would kind of be like the whole thing. So.
Yep.
Fuck it, just give him the keg.
All right. Well, if you want to begin drinking and you want to drink at that pace, go ahead and roll a Constitution check for me. Okay, so you're still in great shape. You are not at all drunk yet. Living your best life.
Oh god, here we go. Shit. Which one? Which one? Which one? Here we go. As he's drinking, as he is drinking, he grabs hold of Nocris and yells in his face, "What shall we do with a drunken Santa? What shall we do with a drunken Santa? What shall we do with a drunken Santa? Way in the morning." Nocris sighs and goes, "Way up she rises."
As
He
adding
thinks
to
that
her
they
hilarious.
smoking crazy coke alcohol.
Are there any musicians in this tavern, Judy?
Let's find out if there are any locals that are proficient at the bardic skill.
Is there a perform skill? Possible.
Unfortunately, there is only one individual, and they appear to be missing.
Damn.
Surprising, considering they are literally on the seesaw.
Oh yeah, the salt air is really starting to get Azzy going. Is there a stage? Tell me there's a stage.
Yeah, there's like a small stage landing in the corner where this particular individual, whose name is Tarbin, would usually play.
As he sort of dances his way over there while still singing. If he passes any one of his comrades on the way, he grabs them and tries to drag them with him. But only with one hand. He's definitely still drinking on the other.
Noted, noted.
I guess that's how the night goes. He's gonna pass out. I bet.
Give me oh, let me see here. Let me get your sheet. Give me a performance roll.
Can I notice if I sing with him?
Yeah, if you want to sing with him, you can do an advantage roll.
Ooh.
Okay, so with a 16, you do in fact get most of the other individuals there in the inn into it, and they're singing along with you, drinking merrily. Many of them are offering you free drinks and passing them around. So go ahead and give me another Constitution check.
Who? For him and Holly?
Both of you.
Oh, he's keeping pace.
Yeah, both of you.
Ooh. I rolled a 2. Ooh. Damn. Oh man.
All right, so Holly is definitely loving life still, not having a problem. Azzy is not doing so hot.
No, wait. I used my skill.
Okay.
Indomitable.
So you rally and overcome the queasiness of your body to not be shown up by a cat girl.
Honestly, I enjoy my sleep and a single tanker that's going on.
Very well.
So I'm going to make sure that my calls make it into the left tonight.
Ooh.
Very well.
Very well.
Had enough of this.
Let me take one of the single rooms if you want it.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? If I see her trying to leave, I grab her.
Lord.
Give me perception.
Perception. Perception. Come on. There's. Sorry, I'm on laptop.
Yep, you normally would have probably missed it, but because you're so in the moment and hypersensitive, you notice that Argo is attempting to dip out into their chambers.
You at it?
I just about passed it.
Ooh. Go ahead and roll me a second. Ooh. Argo slips through your visual grasp.
Ribbit. Uh, well, after a few more shambles and maybe one more round, I think I'm just gonna sit out for the night.
Very well. So the festivities begin to wind down a little bit as most of the other patrons are definitely not keeping pace with you and have much lost in this battle of constitution. And I assume then that you begin to make your way to bed.
Yeah, as it's winding down, Holly starts kind of winding down as well.
Okay.
Make sure that I help them up the stairs to bed.
Holly feigns, uh, she feigns helplessness.
I roll my eyes and I play along.
I was gonna say, give me a performance check for Holly. I want to see how good. No, I want to see how good she is at.
That one, 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 that one.
Oh boy.
So basically, you like pretend like you can't walk, and you kind of like tilt your head back, like "Oh, woe is me," but you make it look like you're rolling your eyes back, but at the same time, you look one eye out the side to side glance at him to see if he's gonna pick you up or not, and he's not buying it.
As he grabs back from his shoulder, points at Holly, he goes, "That's a trap."
I am well aware. I will play along. You also need to get to bed.
I have a few more hours to go tonight.
Interesting little fuck.
I give a wink, and then I leave.
Same.
Sloshily into the night. Okay. All right. So
I will help Holly.
very well.
As he's helping me, I catch Abby's eye before he leaves and stick my tongue out.
All right, so assumedly, Koval delivers Holly successfully to a bed.
Where she promptly punks the fuck out.
I just shake my head a little bit, and I make sure that as he's going to be saying it, it's probably one that I'm in as well. Holly is going to want to know about, I have his eats because he won't be back this evening. I will sit down at the desk if there is one in the facility, and take out my notebook, local fauna and studies, and take some notes on the area. Add in some of the information about the nettle beads I found earlier to help me get more of the area.
All right, very well. You make some medicinal notes. I assume Talia, you have found your bed for the evening. Okay, you are good. Argo is good. Right. Holly is good. Koval is currently doing his bedtime ritual. So, Azzy, what are your errands that you are performing? Oh, okay, there. I didn't see you message me. I'm sorry. You check and find that there is, in fact, a missive there for you.
I'll take it and head back
Okay.
after paying whatever the fee is.
Right. Yeah. 2 copper. Not a big deal. The post back then was not a very lucrative service or anything that requires a whole lot of cost associated.
Kind of wander around town a little bit, give everybody a chance to fall asleep, so that way nobody's like listening in on me, and then retire to my room.
All right, very well. Very well. For the sake of time and the fact that I'm trying to basically block my cat from pressing the power button on my computer and shutting it off right now, I will call us here for the evening. Ooh, he just jumped off. Okay, now I'm free. I will I, I will call us here for the evening with everyone slumbering, and what I will do for you, Azzy, is have your letter typed and delivered to you, so you'll have the contents of that for the next session at least. But I'll probably do it shortly hereafter. Cool. All right. Well, good first session back.
Great first session back.
Some very spirited individuals have shown themselves. But yeah, that's good. We'll plan for next week, same time, same everything.